And three more. Okay, because you can get one hundred. Okay. 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 Right. For knowledge, when you hear lodge means study, take as in biology. Okay, biology is the study of life, isn't it? So when you hear logic, it means the study of something. And you see logic, study of sounds. Okay. You can have one song again. And you do facts. Anyhow. Can you see that? Million. Fact. How many sounds are there? Beautiful. Which one? Okay. And then when you combine them, it becomes fact. You see that? So this pattern is possible in Tyap. This pattern is possible in Tyap. That's what it means. Fact. Right? There are many words that have many sounds than this. Some of them may be up to 6, even 10. But when you are speaking, when you say but, somebody will think that it is one sound you have made. But in reality, how many sounds have you made? 3. When you say chocolate bamboo shake, you can see that in one word, several sounds you have put together. I remember when we did phonetics, the way sound is produced. Okay? Air is pushed from where? From the lungs, through the trachea, to the mouth, through the lips or the nose, isn't it? So all of these sounds that we made, they did that process. They underwent that process. So it means that it is so fast that you may not even know. Okay? When you say Lushego, it sounds like a short name, but there are several sounds that you have made in one place. Okay, this sound, or this word rather, not sound. There are also 3 sounds there. And okay, and ah, okay. Now, in the whole of our learning Tyap, we have never come across in which this sound comes immediately before a group. No, never. Never. That's never happened. So this pattern, this TB pattern is possible. But this one, EA, go and R, is possible. But T and B is not possible. So this is what we do. So you need to study the language to find out what patterns are possible and what patterns are not possible. That's all about phonology, really. Right? You can see that.
Live streaming is on.
A, B, and can you see that? Now, also in the Tyap language, we can have an A and a B. Right? We can have that. But we cannot have a B and a T. As in English. We have the word in English doubt, isn't it? It ends with what? DT. But in Tyap, you will never find a word that ends with a DT. Never happens. Right? But in Tyap, you can have a word that ends with an AD, and an O. Okay? And an O. It's possible to find. You can see here, cap, A, T, and up, and and look. It is not possible to have that. And you know, remember, here, two. Unless we will put in what? And R in between. It is therefore surprising when people try to our older generation. They want to. How do a typical old woman or old man in the village, how will you pronounce that name? Esita. That's how we call it. Okay? Now, you can see that this has to be followed by a vowel in between. Now, remember when we did phonetics? That we don't even have the sound, the third sound. So our third sound is rendered a fifth sound. So that's why we call it. Thank you. The young woman will say, yes. Okay? As carefully as you go, Esita. Am I right? Esita. That's how she will come. That's natural. So it is only because of our. Right? So basically, this is the introduction to it that we want to know. Now we notice that there are certain sounds that have a peculiar place where they can occur or they cannot occur. Are you right? That's correct. Can somebody pronounce that number? The first one is what? Pulus. The second one is what? The third one is what? Iron. You know that. The chapter together. If somebody knows, can somebody call Pulus? Pulut. When you see that, yes. And the J is what? Pulus. Okay. The next one. What? Pressure. No. Pressure. Yeah, we are not speaking Tyap now.
Pressure.
Pressure. All right. This becomes pressure. And then this one, similarly, fire. You are loving. That is how God has made us. All right. So the thing that we need to understand is that in the Tyap language, our phonology is such that S, never. Has he come here?
No.
Romania. Okay. That S never occurs at the end of any word. No S comes at the end of any word. The same thing applies to L. Yeah, L never occurs. If you hear you pronouncing S at the end or pronouncing L at the end of the word, It is either the fellow is thoroughly educated in English, speaking in English, or that is a full born. Even if it is born, the make sure that it is it. So, like the name Daniel, how do you call it? Daniel. Yes, the T sound. The T sound. You'll be wondering why it is like that. Nobody will tell you the reason. It is how God has made us. It is natural. Okay? And there are so many other sounds. When I say sounds, accordingly, letters. Because the sounds are represented by what? Letters, by symbols. And similarly, the letters C, J, L, S, D, Y, and Z. You never find them at the end of any Tyap word. That never happens. That never happens. Alright? So how do you call it Emmanuel? Eh? Emmanuel. That's it. Because there's an L at the end. So you don't say Emmanuel. You don't say Emmanuel. No, that's not certainly not. Certainly not. Okay? So please take note of that. Now the other thing that we need to take out in the next paragraph. There are certain words in English which I want you to take note. So, have you seen something peculiar about these three English words? Yeah? Yeah. Anywhere? Yes? Huh? They always have an M. Look, always okay. There is always. Let me see that. So, it is the choice between M and N. Okay? Import. Okay? Now, just as in English, wherever you have a choice between M and N, following P or B, M is the choice. It applies in Tyap also. Are you getting me? Anytime you have words and you are a little confused, what do I put next to a P or a B? And the choice is you are hearing it as if it is an M or you are hearing it as if it is an N. The choice is always what? Yeah. I will give you a few examples. In fact, there's another one. Okay. For Tyap, ma. Okay? Man. Now, I didn't give you that one. So we can easily give it. Can you see that? One. Okay? Then M. So M. So you don't write. You never write money. It's wrong. You always write money. There you have a choice between M and N. Following M, the choice is M. So here, you can see M following B. M following M. What is upward? Upward.
Cost.
Cost. That place where you put your money. Now, M follows all the time. Are you following me? Now, in the same way, there are certain words or certain sounds that must not be followed by an M. They can only be followed by an N. Those are in English. When you say pen, when you see the sound, it can never be M here. It can never be M here. Can you see the chip sound or the C now? Okay? It can never be followed by an M. It is always an N. Are you following me? Which one again? Can you see the chip sound? It can never be an M. It has to be what? An N. The same thing happens in Tyap. These ones, okay, in the case of Tyap, it's a chip sound. Okay, and then the T sound, and even this one, L, the L sound, the F sound, and so on. They are always follow, N always follow them. Always. Never an M. So when you say yeah, it can never be M here. When you say in fact, it can never be M here. That's the general principle. So those these details you can find in this book which I think we provided for you. Okay, any question on that? No question. Now, there are certain words that create problems for us. Okay, certain sounds rather that create problems for us. Can somebody pronounce that for me? Bang, bang. Okay. Now, most of you got it, but the phonation is your problem. Bang, bang. Bang, bang. Bang, bang. Okay? But that's not our area of interest. Our area of interest is you can see that this is you should not take it just that it is a good sound. If you are because there's a B there, I can't be that one swallowed the sound, not completely swallowed. So because of that, M there, put an M there, right? All right. In most cases, where you have a GD, can you hear me? I said most cases. I said in most cases, which means that for every, remember I told you this rule last time. I said for every rule there is an exception. So even that itself is what? It's a rule. Did I say that? Yes. Yes. But even that itself is what? It's a rule. So if you take a word, can you see that? Bang bang. Bang bang. Can you see? You have put in there. Yeah, that's an exception. Okay. Are you following? Are you following me? So these are exceptions. Some will go well. Some will render is compound. So help us, which is correct. Compound or compound.
So, ordinarily, if I follow the second one.
The second one. Exactly. Ordinarily, from the pronunciation, no, but from the rule. Yes, compound. But some people will call it compound. So it is so close that you find it really, really difficult to distinguish. Now, the advice that is given to us is that when you have confusion like that, the community, the language group should decide on one way or another. And generally, we have adopted the but you know, there are a few cases in which you may be constrained by the exception. Very few. Even in English, isn't it? Even in English, in fact, all languages, there are such exceptions. All right? Now, we need to move on. What we call articulation effects, which you gave us the example. Articulation effects. All right? I want to write certain words carefully. Somebody pronounce that for me. Tap. What can you hear at the end of that word? It's a good sound, is it? Okay? Now, the same thing. What can you hear? How do you pronounce that one? Talk. Okay? Yes? Huh? Is it that? Act. Remember, if the line is not there, you don't say, oh, it's us on the right. Okay? Another one? Not good. Two, right? And then Nyap with what? With a close sound, right? Now we all agree that there is full sound here. We all agree that there is a full sound here. We all agree that there is a full sound here. We all agree that there's a full sound here. We all agree that there's a full sound here. We all agree that there's a mistake. You agree? Now, I want to look into these words. Ignore the presence of this. And I'm making a difference. Everybody knows what is stack, alright? Everybody knows what is stack. You know what is stack? Leg. If I say my leg, that's what I'm putting there. It's here. Alright? Alright? That is, in English, it means what? You are leg. Now, when you pronounce that, when you read out that phrase, how will you read it out? Somebody volunteer. Kagam. Kagam who? Kagam who? Oh, why did you hear about the cake? The Chinese cake is going to that, and the team has converted to Kagam. Kagam who? Did you hear that? Kagam. You don't say Kagam who. You don't say that. Kagam who. Articulation effects. You know, even in French, we have such articulation effects. Anybody did French here? Nobody? Okay, you believe. You have some rudimentary. Aha. There is a word French that is this. How do you pronounce it? This. This. There is a word, I mean, means pen in French. Okay? And there is a word in French. Who I'm writing with spelling quick. With. Okay? Now, and this with is what? 8. Equals what? Actually, 18. So, in English, it's 10 plus 10, 18. In English, this plus with gives you, can somebody pronounce attempt? Yes, then you go around. Eh? The sweet, the sweet, the sweet, the sweet, the sweet, the sweet, the sweet. You will have it, the sweet. As if this. In the zone, with actually the French with the other pronunciation. So it is the other between the S sound and the U sound. Okay? So it becomes effect. It becomes the sweet. The sweet. Alright? This is another French expression. It was the name of a country. This word in French is in the States. States. United. Aha. So you can now guess what country that is. What is that? United States. Now, if I translate it in English to be in the United States. Somebody volunteer to pronounce it for me. Starting from you. Anybody now? Okay. Try it. Somebody. Huh? Okay. Anybody else? Anybody? Try now. I know incidentally he did very well. Ozehazuni. Ozehazuni. Okay. Now there is liaison between this sound and A sound. This is pronounced A. And now you can say sound with the full sound. Zuni. There's a Z here. There's a Z here. Ozehazuni in the United States. You can even imagine that that's how it is. You know, if you start calling it O, Eka, Uni, somebody will say, I hope your head is correct. So the same way in Tyap we have such things. Now, let's go back to our Tyap. Alright? Let's go back. Let's go back. So in the first one, we found out that tak and tag down who. The K becomes what? H. Chalk. Can you apply the same principle? Chalk down who. Can you hear a change from a K to from a good to a good? Right? So once again, a good has been pronounced. Now let's go to part where you have you pronounce it alone, it's clearly a sound. But apply the same thing. What did you notice there? It's not there. What? Okay. Yes, yes. Somebody are almost getting it. But some we are able to almost get it. Pronounce it anyway. Bow down who? Change it to a good. Bow down. Okay? So the sound here changes to a good sound. Alright? What happens? La down. La down. When you hear the good sound there, again. Now, can we apply this? Very good. Always try. This is my problem with you. Always try. Okay, now. Try now. Okay, anybody? Woo. No. You got right. You missed it. Did you see the line under the eye? Good. Good. Okay. And? Yeah? 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 Ah, good. Tibam. Did you hear? What has happened to the pig? Tibam. Good. There's a good sound. So, the good. This P has changed onto a good sound. And the same thing, yep. Huh? Did you see that? Now, yep, though in speech, we discover that this to and to, okay, in speech, when we learn, when it is next to a vowel like yeah, it changes to do, or good. When you are writing, when you are writing, you don't change it. they remain the same. It's when you pronounce. When you pronounce. Just as in the case of Ozetazini. Are you getting it? You don't spell it the way you pronounce it. There's a standard way of writing it. So you stick to that. Are we together now? Right. So, but I told you for every rule there's what? There are exceptions. So let's see if there are exceptions. Incidentally, sorry, let me just uh, uh, let me just take one. I said if I put angu, which means that here, instead of that vowel, can somebody pronounce that for me? Huh? Chok Min Hu. Did you notice any change in the close sound? No change. No change. No change. The Q sound is still as solid as before. Chok Min Hu. You don't say Chok Min Hu. No. Chok Min Hu. Yeah? Not okay. It's not because it is plural. Okay. You can even say consider this is singular, isn't it? But this N is what? Is a consonant. Okay? When you pronounce it, because what? Chok. Can you see that? Yes. Alright? So the sound remains. So we don't want a situation in which when you hear something pronounced in a particular way, you change the spelling. There will be some form of inconsistency. Unless there has been agreement. You remember the characteristics of a good orthography? If the community has agreed that this is how we will spell a thing, okay, stick with that. I gave you the example the other time. Like, did I give you this example? In English? I gave you this example last time. How do you pronounce it? If you didn't know English. Knife, as one of something like that. But the English people, even if they try to change it in the past and it fails, now what is acceptable is that this is the standard way of writing this word knife. And that's how we pronounce it. For you to say, no, from my reading, from my study, from my research, this cannot be knife. Are you getting me? If the community has agreed that this is how it should be spread, this is how it should be called, please follow through. You can do your research, bring it at the appropriate time. When the community agrees with your research, they can change it, but don't change unilaterally. This is what I'm saying. Don't change unilaterally. Okay? So, like I said, there are exceptions to some of these things which we need to take note. I'll give you a few more examples. Okay? And this particular unit is rich. C. Okay? Now, I'm sure we can pronounce these things very clearly. What is that? Yet one rich. How about if it is, if there are more than one? How do you call them? Yeah. Further has knocked out the L. Right. This N. Very terrible fellow. It does so much harm to many people. All right. So from N, that's clearly L there. You want to make this a plural. Now you add an N, but the N has the effect of knocking off the L. The little sound. Why it is so? When we get to heaven, we will ask. Isn't it? I always say so. When I get to heaven, I will ask God, why is this thing like that? But somebody reminded me that when we get to heaven, we will not need to ask the question because we will know. Okay? So again, these are images. Now it is not because it is a plural. Alingua. Have you seen it? Ndingu. Ndingu. Ha. Now, it's a phrase. What are you going to do? One more. Means I. Ndi. I see. I see. Ndi. So what has happened to the end? Because of the presence of this N, the N again has knocked off the L and replaced it with a what? N. 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 Hope we are following these things. Somebody pronounce this for me. No, no. Huh? Way. Because of the underlying of the A. It's skin. So there are some people that don't skin their animals. They just roast and something like that. I don't know whether it is. What I'm going to say, I don't know whether. Well, okay, that's what like that, okay? No, I don't know. Okay, but that's way. So if I say I skip a ghost, okay. Yes, I can hear. Yes, I can hear you. Can you see that? Have you seen the government that then has come again? That is because I. This is I. I. Skip. I skip. If you want to understand the word, wait up. I skip the goats. Okay? Now, so you can see that this end. Its introduction has not only made it has not only made itself present. But when it came, it knocked out. No, it didn't knock out anything. But it came along with someone. Someone. It came along with somebody. Oh, it is really. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know why it is this one. But we just noticed that that's what happened. So in phonology, you study what happens. Maybe our researchers in the university, PhD, masters, degree, and so on, they will study and find out why it is like that. For now, we don't know the why, but at least we know that this is how it is. Eh? There is a single word like that. Why? 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 What is why? When you want to make a move, what do you do? See. Or filter. Or filter. Okay? This is to filter or to see. Anyone? Or to filter. Okay? Now, if you want to say, I filter or I see in Tyap, what do you say? Why? All right?
Understood.
Eh?
You understood.
Sorry. Thank you for bringing attention. Why? All right? So, you need to go fast because I don't even have one luxury of time. Good. Good. What is good? Push. Good. Combine. Push. Combine. Because I should have. I want to do. I don't have. But if I say I push, undo, all right? Mr. N has come again. Initially was certainly not there.
So let me take you back to why.
Why? Or why?
What do you call this? This paste, this small smooth paste, the one that you put after.
Oh, why?
There is okay, this is okay.
Or why? All right. So little things can change the meaning of so many things. All right. So you can see that again. You means to push. Okay. Ungud or ungud. Now, I will give you an assignment just now, just to test. Everybody will write it. Yeah, right here. Which means to what? It's okay. Now, get up there, right? I. Yeah. Don't say it loud. Don't say it loud because shouting is very challenging. Okay. Write the word yeah, which everybody agrees is to eat. Okay? Now, instead of say to eat, say I eat in Tyap. I eat in Tyap. Are you finished? Good. Ready to go to the So what that today? Well, you can I think I don't. Yes. And Eli, what would you man and Islam for? No question. Make it. You know, walk with him, man. So that's the principle. Are you following me? That is the principle. So we will let's start the with okay, Ghana, you are in a can. They are more in Nigeria. You go for card, you wrote it down, please open to where so that we can sing together. And there is a little change. There's a little change. Let's just see. Look at the proposal. Even after we should change for the given access. Okay. Are we set to go? Sing. I see that you will run into. Okay, that's fair. All right. Now, that there, you are trying to pronounce it like English. That's your problem. That's the there. Okay. Now the proposal that we have is the second to the last, no, third to the last line of the third stanza. where it says okay. Also, okay. Can you see the two lines? This is what is given. This is a new proposal, and you'll be wondering what the difference. This one means without oppressing in each other, without oppressing each other. This one is free again back without oppressing anybody. So the proposal is no, the second one or the first? Huh? First one. We provide the first one. You know, it's not even, it's, both of them are correct. Both of them are both. But one is, what there's a way in which one is better than the other. The other one also better than the other. And I can tell you why. So we can examine both. When you say a young something, you know, it's like the music is smoother, smoother than the second one. However, the second one is the more proper rendition of the English version. No one is expressed. I follow you. Where no one is expressed. But you know, like I said, the music. If you are talking of music, I prefer this one. When you are talking of proper translation of the English version, this one to me is the more accurate translation. So over to you. But all of them they convey the same thing. So this way young it's not good now. Ale to me nabuku jere okay. Am I don't attack? Ale fine. Nabuku jebo man. This is sisi. Okay. Kamu apa jebo na? Na ye. Na ye ya. Mari si mo wa tuma ma si mo.
Wa so na pa ya ku ga mo.
Na je ko ba. Ko je
Bi awa na mo. Bi awa na mo.
All right, so that's the whole idea. It's not that there is a big deal about it. What is your choice, gentlemen, ladies? Okay. Eh?
The proper, which is the proper translation.
Okay, no, we'll go one by one. Waka, which one do you prefer? What? Okay, let's name it.
Waka just like this. So you go.
Yeah, I have no preference. So I'm just looking for Waka, one or two. One, two. I don't know if I can get it. One. Two. One. That's two. Yeah? You go for two. You? One. One, two. Okay, I'm confused now. So, one. 1, 3, okay, 2, 1. That's 4 now. And then 2. And then walk up. 3, now you walk up.
Okay.
So then we will still present the okay. Let's the I okay, the one have it. Okay, so let's so it's still the case.